Things we used to laugh at that old people did, and do we do them? Do I do them? I'm going to try to find out. I got a quiz we're going to take. My wife got a birthday card and said, "Remember we used to laugh at old people, the things they did when we were younger? Why were they so damn funny?" So we'll like to do a checkup and see how we're doing. And so stay with me and let's get into it. Things I used to laugh at, and now I do them. Or do I? Or do we? Our generation. Is our generation kind of the youngest generation? Youngest older generation, I guess you would say? We'll find out. I got a checklist here, and it has some questions of different 5 or 6 categories. I may not cover everything, but I'll get enough to give us a good feel for it, and maybe we'll score ourselves and see how we stack up at acting old and doing the things that we used to laugh at when we were younger. So I'll answer honestly as I can, and you would follow along and do the same, and let's take a count at the end and see how we did. Okay, I think I'll jump in. Number 1 is wearing outdated and mismatched clothing. Outdated and mismatched clothing. I think I do pretty good there. I do go through the closet a couple of times every 5 years, I should say. And I got a lot of stuff there, and I don't wear hardly any of it. I just wear the same things over and over again. I'm married, and my wife is a good check on me because she'll say, "Oh, you're going to wear that?" And I said, at first I said, "Well, you think I should change?" Blah, blah, blah. Now I just said, "Yep, I'm going to wear this. This is my favorite shirt." So she's kind of got used to me. I'll wear what I want to. And I want to wear something that's comfortable and has an elastic waistline. You probably do too, men and women. And something that's full cut. I don't need a tapered cut, especially around the middle. So something comfortable. It's nice to have some nice clothes once in a while, but we're not looking for anything trendy or leading edge. Clothes can be either real expensive or very reasonably priced. I don't know about you, but I shop at a lot of times at Costco. Has the kind of clothes I would like, and I buy a lot of them at Costco. I think the women probably do that too. It's kind of funny. You get a shirt from Costco and out and about, you see somebody else with the same shirt, you say, "Costco." They say, "You got it." So full cut clothes, something that's comfortable. I remember back, my father, when my mother passed away, he lived 5 more years, and going down to see him, and his clothes were so outdated. You think, let's get you some clothes. Clothes have changed so much from those times, it's not even a comparison. So I don't know. On that one, I'd say I'm kind of average. I'm certainly not trendy. I don't need trendy clothes. Now, there's some really good, dapper dressing people our age on occasion. Go out with a group dinner or something like that, and some people really dress up very nicely. Shoes, I think comfortable shoes is good. Everybody wears sneakers these days. I just bought a pair of Hoka shoes, Hoka, and they got a wide toe box. And something stable is what I like. I see a lot of people sometimes wearing these little flip-flops and little sandals, and they don't look very stable to me, but I'm not going to preach. I mean, that's up to you. But that's quite a difference from looking back at the older generation when we grew up. They just had shoes, and that was it. Maybe a pair of church shoes and a pair of work boots, and I don't know if they had anything else or not. Going back to clothing, pulling up pants to a high waistline. My wife is kind of cautioned me a couple of times. She said, "Pull down your pants." And it's not what you mean, what you're thinking. It's like my pants are too high on my chest. I kind of did the thumbnail like that, and I tried to pull up the pants. That's kind of hard to do. But that's a thing. I mean, people do that. I was sitting at an office yesterday with a bunch of people my age, and I was kind of looking at the people, and yeah, one guy came through, and he had that high waistline. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as long as if that's where you want to wear it there. That is for sure. What else we got here? Walking around the house in underwear. Huh? I don't do that. I'm married. I don't do that. If you're single, maybe you do that. False teeth? No, we don't. These days, we don't have too many people have false teeth, a complete set of false teeth. When we were growing up, they did. Our grandmothers and grandfathers, and I think my mother had a full set of false teeth. And remember that in a glass jar, and you went to spend the night with somebody and they had false teeth out. That was, as a kid, that was not pleasant. But these days, I've got plenty of caps, and I got a tooth implant right there in the front, and it works fine. So that has really improved since the old days. Is most of us don't do false teeth. Now, if you need something very cheap, if you're very limited on your budget, I think that's the way to go. Still, false teeth. Clothing for women, I'm no expert, of course, but I think they have half the women, I understand, in their women's walking group talked about this week. And they said blouses, they don't want their turkey gobble thing here. They are very conscious about that. So half the women said they always wear a longer short sleeve, and half the women said they didn't care. They didn't care. They'll wear whatever they want to. And I think that's the key, really, clothing. But it's quite a bit changed since the earlier generation, so I don't think you can compare at all. And, this hat, I don't wear it all the time by any means. Sometimes I wear it. Just to look cool. Now, hats, I don't wear that. I wear that. I think I wore that New Year's Eve into the club sometimes. But here's what most guys wear. Baseball cap, right? Cool. And the reason we wear these is because sun, beats down on this big forehead there. Sun spots, cancer, precancerous. And number two, the hair gets a little thin up there when you're 77. So you just look better. You look cooler with a hat on. So that's the reason we wear these. The problem is when you go inside for dinner or something, you're supposed to take your hat off. I've done that a couple of times. I wore my hat to like a street party or at a restaurant. And this guy said, "Robert, take your hat off." And so I did. But, I'm not that, I don't really care. I'm not that self-conscious about it. Many other stylish hats, people wear these things. Is this a cabbie hat? I'm not even sure what you call this thing. It's kind of a cool hat. And, I think it's light. They come in all different colors. There's just nothing to them. Great summertime hat. There. What kind of hats do you wear? If you're a guy, what kind of hats do you wear? I just bought this at CVS this week. It's one of those, what do you call it? Mission hats. Mission. And you put it in water. You soak it in water, go outside, and it's supposed to cool you off. And also, it covers your ears for skin cancer. That's important. And I haven't wore this yet outside. I think I'll do that today and give that a try. Let's see what hat I'm going to wear back on here. I'll just go ahead and put my fedora hat back on again. There we go. So clothing, I don't know. Clothing, I think I do okay on clothing. How do you do? What was your score? I'd give me, on a score of 10, I'd say I'd do 8. I only buy it when I have to, and I buy it from Costco or someplace like that. So let's go with 8. 8. So I'll put down 8 for clothing. Okay, next up is physical habits. Oh boy. Groaning when getting up or sitting down. Yep, yep. Sometimes we turn into our parents, and my wife is not here right now. She's getting ready for the card game. I can see her in a rocking chair. She'll go back and forth like that, and then have a couple of false start to get up, and then she'll jump up. We have learned, here's a tip. We've learned not to get up and go walking right away. When we get up, we like to stand up. Well, first, before you stand up, if you'll kind of do your butt a little bit like that, and your legs kind of tighten up the muscles, and then when you stand up, don't do like I did and walk around. Just stand up and just stand there for a second, and you could play like you're checking your phone if you wanted to or something, just kind of, and move the knees back and forth and then take off. And the reason I say that is because, you got a camera focused here, it's because your legs can go to sleep, or it takes a little bit for your joints to get adjusted, lubricated. And if you take off right away, I saw somebody do that. They got out of the chair, just turned real quickly and just flopped over and hit the hardwood floor very hard. So that's something you don't want to do. Sometimes I get up in the morning and get out of bed and I go, what is it? I groan. And my wife said, "Is everything okay? Is everything okay?" And I'll say, "Yeah, I'm just getting up." Mobility problems, that's part of getting old. There's nothing we can do about that. And holding the handrails going down the stairs, resting between flights of stairs. You're lucky if you can take stairs, so consider yourself lucky. Wearing compression socks. A lot of people do it for medical reasons. They do that, and I applaud them. I've got quite a few compression socks from race walking. I did that. I wore those in a national championship. They kind of energize your legs. I don't normally wear compression socks, but they come in handy. Isn't there something about flying on a plane long distance, and you can get these blood clots in your legs? And I think they say there, wear compression socks as well. Another use. Drinking coffee to get things moving. Well, I go probiotics. I drink 1 cup of coffee a day. A lot of times it's half calf these days. So that does the trick. We're not even going medication. We're not going to talk about that. Running to the bathroom. Oh yeah. When you got to go, right? A lot of people I meet for lunch, and they use the bathrooms sometimes coming in, and then when lunch is over, especially if it's an hour or so, they always hit the bathroom on the way out, or I should say the restroom on the way out. Taking fiber every morning, blah, blah, blah. Use a CPAP machine. My wife has one. Yeah, if you need one, use one. She loves her CPAP machine. She got used to it. A lot of people get a CPAP machine and they never use it. They never can adjust to it. And she loves hers. She sleeps much better with a CPAP machine on. Looks like an astronaut or something, all those pipes, everything. I've got used to it too, so no problem. Physical habits. I think because of my race walking, I think I'm doing better than normal. Of course, you probably would think that, but I'm going to put a 9. I guess I'm scoring, the higher the score means I'm doing okay. Lifestyle and routine changes. Lifestyle, well, certainly you're going to have routine changes. If you're acting like an old person, absolutely, we deserve it. Yeah, we get up late or get up early, whatever we want to do. Take our time eating breakfast. Eating dinner at 5 o'clock is not a problem. We usually eat at about 6:30. Avoid driving at night. I would agree with that. Even though I've had cataract surgery, driving at dark at night, when there's especially been like a rain or something and the road is unmarked, and that glare on the road is not safe. I don't want to do that. Walk slowly. I walk fast, so I'm doing okay there. Wearing hats everywhere, we cover that. Eating salads because they taste good. Well, I didn't know that was an old people's thing. I love a salad. Um, we like to go to Longhorn restaurants, and I get their lunch special strawberry chopped salad with grilled chicken. It's wonderful. So lifestyle changes. I mean, I don't know how to score that. I mean, yeah, it's different in retirement. Acting like an old person. Well, retired old person. Yeah, that's what I am. Yep. That's fine. Next, household and habits. Talking on the phone for long stretches. I found guys don't do that. We don't do that, do we? I mean, the women do. The women can talk. My wife, where's she? My wife, we can be meeting some people. So we're meeting, say, Pete and Brenda. We're going to meet them, right? We're going to meet them in like an hour. They can be talking on the phone like for 30, 40 minutes. It was like, we're going to see them in like an hour. And what in the heck are you talking about that long? But I don't really fuss her at her for talking. I mean, that's absolutely friend. Good that she has a friend like that she can talk to. I found us guys are less sociable. I got one friend that I called for go to lunch, and his wife said, "Thanks very much for doing that." She said, "Most guys won't do that. They won't pick up the phone and ask somebody to go to lunch." Here's a good one. Hoarding or stockpiling supplies. Isn't that true? Older people kind of tend to stockpile a bunch of stuff, kind of hoard stuff. And I know we've been in charge of 3 different homes that Marianne was charged of the executive of the will for 2 people. And I was a family member of the 3rd one. And getting into especially the bathroom and looking at all the soaps and cleaners and all kind of stuff, you say, what were they thinking to stockpile all this stuff? We'd like to go to Costco, like I said, and we do stock up on stuff. I try not to do that, but you need to be prepared. You never know what's going to happen. So I'd say I'm doing okay there. Bonus category, driving too slowly. Yes, my wife says when I go on the 4-lane, she'll say, "You're going 45 miles an hour. Speed up." And I look down and it is 45 miles an hour, so I speed up. But before I moved from the suburbs to more of a outlying area, people are just rude, aren't they? They will not wait 1 second for you to enter traffic, or if you enter before them, they'll speed up and try to hit you. People are really something. So I am so glad to get out of the traffic as much as I can. Talking endless about ailments, we've covered all that stuff. Reading medication instructions with a magnifying glass. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, not only medicine instructions, but any instructions. And I would include menus. Even we'd like to take cruises, and on a cruise ship, man, they give you that menu, and it's nothing but old people on the ship. And it's like, I use my flashlight on my phone to light up and magnify the menu. So yeah, I do that. That's something old people do. I do it, absolutely. Telling the same stories over and over. Yep, roger that. So my scoring system, I'm dropping here. I'm just completely off track on the scoring system. But one final note, funny commercials we laughed at now and understand. We laughed at these and now we understand them. Help, I've fallen, I can't get up. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. I remember that, but I can't remember. Was it Life Alert or something? I think it was. I mean, that's nothing funny. I mean, if you live alone, you probably need one of those. We know people that have fallen and couldn't get up. They had a stroke and they lay there all night. And, that's no joke. So, but we thought it was back then, wasn't it? When we were younger, you thought that was just how funny, but it's not funny, is it? Clap on, clap off, the clapper. Remember that commercial? Ladies laying in bed, clap on, clap off. Well, that's kind of nice. of course, these days with technology, with Alexa and all kind of, I'm looking to see if Alexa saw me calling her name. You can wire your house to do that. Easy. Here's another one. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Burger King commercial. What's her name? Clara somebody? That was so funny. I don't know, I don't know that I can relate to that. I mean, when I go to Burger King, I don't order like that. But we try to order online as much as possible. And then when we get to the place, they have it ready for us. And I found a benefit of doing that is you get all kind of options. You can say, I want grilled onions, not raw onions, or this or that. So I learned that during COVID. So that's the plus there. Okay, I'm just saying, I want to say this. These are things that old people did, we talked about. But one commenter said this morning, Chuck, think Chuck. He said, the older you get, the younger old looks. The older we get, the younger old looks. So I guess that's right. We understand what old looks like. We understand why we groan when we get out of bed. We understand these things. And another commenter said, I think this baby boomer generation, and I'm 77, so the oldest boomer is 79, getting ready to turn 80 next year, 80 baby boomer. He said, I think we're the first generation to act younger, and that makes you feel younger. So, you can still laugh and have a good time and enjoy things for the most part. And I think there's something to that. Let me know what you think about that. Is that right or not? I don't believe in the new 60 is the 60 is the new 40 and all that. I don't believe that stuff. I don't believe that stuff at all. But I think there is something to kind of a youthful attitude by some of us older people. I believe that is true. Okay, well that's all I got. I just want to know how I scored. I think I'm doing fine. I'm happy. It doesn't matter. There's no good score or bad score. The main thing is you do what you want to do, and and be comfortable doing what you're doing. I don't feel embarrassed by any of these things whatsoever. Not at all. Some people like to be a little outrageous when they get older, and I think that's a great thing. Some people we talk about clothing, they can really be artistic and really dress up as good as younger people can. And I think that's kind of neat too. But anyway, something lighter. I've hit some pretty heavy topics lately, and I want to do something a little bit lighter this time. And so that's it. So I appreciate your subscribing and liking as usual, and comments. Oh my gosh, I read 6,000 comments on the harsh realities of being a 77-year-old man. They were absolutely wonderful. I'll remember those comments the rest of my life, and I appreciate you making those. So carry on, and we'll catch you next week. I'll have something completely different. Thanks very much for watching. This is Robert with Robert's Active Retirement.